Hey friends, it's Amanda. Welcome back to another day in my life as a naturopathic doctor. Today I'm going to be taking you through some of the things that I do at clinic. I'll be showing you some of the tests that I use, and we'll also talk about some supplements. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and join our community. I love sharing tips about health. I talk a lot about gut health, and then I also show days in my life. So I just got to work, so the first thing I'm going to do is check my schedule, review all the patient charts for today. That way I have their plans ready, refreshed on my mind, and then I will show you some things around the clinic. So I'm currently in the lab. I want to talk to you about some testing options that we have, but first let me just quickly show you. So this is what our lab looks like. Got the in-body test over there, and then this is where we do some testing over here. So the first test I want to show you is the Dutch test. So the Dutch test is a hormone test. Comes with a kit like this. And then inside has the instructions. And then has these little test strips, which the patient will urinate on and then let the urine dry. So Dutch tests are helpful for hormonal conditions. One thing that I really like the Dutch test for is it tests your cortisol. So cortisol through the urine is one of the best ways to test your cortisol, and it checks it at 4 points throughout the day. So they have to do the test at different times of the day, and it will help you figure out your cortisol curve. So it will see, okay, is your cortisol spiking too high in the evening or is it too low in the morning? What I'll do is I'll go back to the office after and show you a sample report so we can kind of go over what a sample report would look like for a Dutch test. The other test that I don't have here is one of my favorite tests. It's the GI map test. This is a stool test. So patients will buy the kit, take it home with them, and complete the stool test at home. So the GI map test is great because it shows what your microbiome looks like, if you have any bacteria, yeast, parasites, or worms. And then based on that, we're able to figure out exactly how we can target their gut health and how we can make a gut health protocol. So I will also go over a GI map report when we go back to the office. The next thing is a urine test. I showed this in my last video. I will leave it linked above my other day in my life video, but this is just a general health of your urine test. So it will check if there's any blood in the urine, any sugar, any white blood cells, so if there's like an infection going on. And then the next thing I want to show you is B12. So this is vitamin B12. So for Ontario naturopaths, we have to do another exam to allow us to do injections and then some other things like prescribing bioidentical hormones and desiccated thyroid. So I did this test, so I'm able to do the injection, and this is just what the needles look like. So I do this when I notice if a patient has low vitamin B12 based on their blood work. It's great for helping to improve energy and also improve your red blood cell production. All right, so that's it for the lab. I'm gonna head back to the office and go over some of those test results. Okay, so let's quickly go over the GI map. This is a stool test that I was telling you about. It's going to be helpful if you have any sort of gut conditions, whether that be bloating, gas, diarrhea, if you think you got exposed to a parasite or a pathogen, so if you were traveling. And then also it checks for things like H. pylori, so it's great for picking up that in the stool. Okay, so this is what a sample GI map report looks like. You can see up there it says patient is, I'm a sample. So here on the first page, what we have is pathogens. So this is things like E. coli or salmonella. These are things like, you can pick up in contaminated food sources. A lot of people are familiar with, salmonella, picking it up from food. And then over here, we have also some parasites and viruses. So the way you look at this report, anything under this is your result. And then anything under here is the reference range. So for the result, when it says less than DL, that means it's less than the detectable limit, so it is negative. So anything there that says less than DL is negative. On here, we can see there's a couple of them that are high, and then this one is yellow, so that means it is present. It's just not high, but it's still there, which is something you don't want in the gut. Then on this page here, we have H. pylori. So H. pylori is present in the stomach. It can cause a lot of symptoms like bloating, gas, pain, acid reflux. Okay, so in this case, you can see H. pylori here is high. Then we got the commensal keystone bacteria. So these are your good gut bacteria, your gut microbes. Again, everything is like on a range. So you can see it's from like, it would either be low, the yellow would be like borderline, and then green is good. So you don't want things too low or too high. So as you can see, the Akkermansia one is less than the detectable limit, so that's quite low. You don't want your good gut bacteria to be too low. Then there's some overgrowth microbes on this page. And then we have yeast, so things like candida. A lot of people are familiar with candida in the sense of like that fungal yeast overgrowth. It can cause itchiness and skin rashes, can show up in constipation, even diarrhea and bloating as well. Parasites and worms. And then these are just some good intestinal health markers. So we got steatocrit, the first one, that would be fat in the stool. Elastase, which is a digestive enzyme, a couple other markers for inflammation and your immune response too. Okay, so that is the GI map. I'm gonna quickly just show you the Dutch. I'm not gonna go over it in as much detail as I did for the GI map, but I will show you what the Dutch sample report looks like. So this is the Dutch sample report. So the first page, it gives you an overview of things. Those are the hormones. It breaks it down in terms of results. And then on the next page here, it has everything in these little pictures. So green range is where you would want your results to be between those two stars. This is great because it shows the breakdown of your estrogens and the different pathways that it goes through. So you want to go down this green pathway. And then one of my favorite things is the cortisol. So you can see your cortisol pattern here. The patient values are the red. The first black line is high levels, and then the lower black line is low. So you kind of want things mid-range. And then that will show you a lot about the way your cortisol and your stress response is. So based on these comprehensive tests and the results that I get back, I'm able to make treatment plans that are more specific, and that way we're not guessing at what's going on in the body. So I have some visits right now, so I'm going to check in with those patients, and then I will come back and show you a couple more things. So I'm currently in one of the treatment rooms that I do acupuncture in. So I'm going to just quickly show you acupuncture needles. I talked about acupuncture a little bit more in my previous day of my life video. So acupuncture is something I use for anxiety, stress, digestion, and then also fertility. So what I'm going to do is show you two different supplements. This first supplement is lavender, and this next supplement is an adrenal support. So I talked a little bit about that stress response, so I'm just going to keep that topic going and tell you two supplements that I like using for stress. So the first one is lavender. So this is lavender essential oil in a soft gel, so it's a soft gel capsule. And this can be taken to help reduce stress and anxiety, and also can be helpful for sleep. So lavender, the herb lavender, is very calming. I'm not sure if you've ever tried lavender, either lavender tea or even smelling lavender essential oil. It is very calming and relaxing. So this one I like using as needed to help people when they're feeling stressed or anxious and help them feel calm and relaxed. The next supplement is the adrenal formula. So this one's helpful for your adrenals. So your adrenal glands are little glands on top of your kidneys. They release cortisol, and when you're very stressed out, if you're going through a stressful time, that can affect your adrenal glands and how they are releasing the cortisol. So this helps with supporting your immune system, your adrenal glands, and helps to buffer that stress. So this one has vitamin C. It has eleuthero, which is an adaptogenic herb. It has hawthorn, holy basil, that one is also calming, grounding, alfalfa, and then rhodiola. And rhodiola is great for anxiety and gives you a little bit of energy. So this one can help improve energy, but also help to support that relaxation and calmness and grounding. So I'm gonna go have a snack, finish up my last appointment, and then I'm gonna show you one final thing before we end the video. So I was in a bit of a rush today. So what I grabbed for a snack is 2 tangerines. And then this Simply protein bar. So I'm gonna eat 1 or 2 of these, some of this, finish up my day, and then I will show you one last thing. So for the final thing of the day, I'm gonna show you, we're back in the lab, and I'm gonna show you tinctures. So these are herbal tinctures. So this one is bitters. This one is great for helping to improve digestion. So what I usually do is take the herb, measure it out in this thing, how much I want for each patient, and then put it in this little glass bottle. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I gotta get going because my battery's about to die. Bye.